that she and I did together, though, for those of you who know my work, A Birthday Basket for Tia is about an aunt who is very, very dear to us. We called her Lobo. Not everybody calls her Aunt Lobo, but we did. And so this is another story about Lobo. Tentative title, I Pledge Allegiance. At this time of talking about immigrants in such negative ways. And it is about a true story about my aunt who became a citizen at 80. And in the book, Libby and Lobo practice the Pledge of Allegiance together. And in the course of it, Lobo says why she became a citizen at 80. So we want something positive as all this negativity is swirling around us. The title, of course, for today about Yum was related to the book of haiku. And this is a wonderful time to be with you, not only to say thanks, it's Thanksgiving is coming up, but because autumn is a wonderful time for reflection, right? A wonderful time for us to think about harvest, a wonderful time for us to think about giving, and a wonderful time to think about food, right? I mean, a big part of Thanksgiving is food. So I wanted to share a couple of the food haiku from the book Yum, Que Rico. It had another title originally, what's now the subtitle, America's Sproutings, and the title is not decided, it's not firm, until the book is actually ready to go to print. So Dizzy in Your Eyes probably had 6 other titles. And at the very, very last minute, you know, there's this horrible moment when the publisher and the author agree on the title. So it had this title, America's Sproutings, and then my husband and I happened to be out someplace, and there was a dad and a boy, and I'm always making up stories about people I watch. So I thought, oh, so the dad probably has the boy out, so the dad's probably a divorced family, and so the dad's spending Saturday with us. So I've got this whole story. And so I hear the boy look at the dad, and he says, Yum, when they brought his lunch. And I called my editor, and I said, we have to change the title. I mean, because yum is such a great word, isn't it? And she said, oh, but we have another title that has yummy or something. And I said, I know, we really have to have it. So it's called Yum, Que Rico. So in honor of Thanksgiving, and if you remember haiku, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, you probably would think that was hard. When I talk to kids about it, they say to me, oh, I can do that in a minute, and they can. So cranberry. Mouth floating hard bead, simmers, then pops in hot pot, scarlet fireworks. Pumpkin, under round luna, scattered tumblings down the rows, autumn's orange face. I had a great time with that book, a great time. Well, one of our speakers said this morning, I think it was Elizabeth, a phrase, a dicho that I love, dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres, right? And I feel so lucky. I wasn't trained as a librarian, but I think I could say I've been trained by librarians, you know, because of Dia. And I feel like, you know, ando con reforma. And it's just such an honor for me to feel that way. Something I never would have expected, you know. I've had many phases in my life, and I must say, you know, the first phase I was going to be a nun. And I was talking to Maria Guajardo yesterday. She and I got to go to China together years ago. And I was saying, and she was saying she once thought about being a nun. And I said, you know, Maria, you and I would have been darn good nuns. Because, you know, a big part of it is being cause-driven. And the surprise to me is I never would have expected literacy to be the cause. I sort of took it for granted. And then, you know, when I began to realize the great disparity in this country between those who have books and have the joy of books and those who don't have access to that for complex reasons, you know, then that kind of rose up to become the cause. But Dia would not be what it is without reforma. It would not. And I'm deeply grateful to Linda and all the staff at ALSC for all they have done with Dia there. And we all look forward to the day when we throw our arms around Keith and say, Keith, thank you for getting that giant grant. Right? We are on the brink of it, I think. On the brink of it. Well, let me end with a couple of more. This is a book called Gracias, Thanks, and it's written in the voice of a little boy. And again, for those, since you're librarians, these are the kinds of things librarians like. When they were picking the illustrator for the book, and you know, technically authors don't have any say in the illustrator, I always say, unless you're Oprah. And I imagine Oprah would get to choose her illustrator. But thanks to the web now, I can look at images, and so an editor might say, you know, here are 4 or 5. And so Liam Lowe had agreed to publish Gracias. It's in the voice of a little boy who's going through his day, thinking about all the things he's grateful for. And I invite you, as you spend your days here as the conference, you know, begins to wind down tomorrow, think about all the things that you and I are grateful for, both in our personal lives, but really in our professional lives, because as Elizabeth says, a group like this did not exist, and now we all have a home in it. Rose and I talked often about her ALA journey, and really how estranged she felt when she first came to ALA. And there she was, the first Latina chair of the Newberry Committee. And that was such a special triumph for her, an earned triumph, because she had worked so hard. So she died on April 30th. She died on Dia. And we all, as Oralia says, she's our guardian angel. She's counting on us to do a good job. And we've grown, but we have so much further to grow. You know, we have so much further to grow. Anyway, so they sent me the illustrations, some possible illustrators for this book, and I said, but nobody's going to love that boy. You know, because they were really wonderful artists. You can have people who are wonderful artists, but the kids look kind of quirky. And as adults, we can appreciate it, that's wonderful art, but I said, but you know, I need people to love this boy. If they don't love him, they're not going to be interested in the things he's grateful for. Oh, I'd actually forgotten. This is a librarian story. So, anybody here from Seattle? Okay, Beatriz, right. So, I was at the Seattle Public Library. They had a fabulous presentation, and I went in, and they had a huge Dia exhibit. And for those of you in the room who are tempted to come up to me and say, you know, we would do Dia, but we don't have the money. Never say that. Never say that. Dia is not, I mean, yes, Keith, yes, we would like money. He's never going to speak to me again. Yes, no, but we're partners in this. We're partners in this. Yes, libraries would like money. But you know, the little library that puts up a special Dia display of its books and then maybe get something special for the kids, that's the beginning. Ideally, I want to see every child read the book. And Portland, as Mom and I were talking about, had a wonderful grant at Milton Luma. Every family that signed a Dia pledge went home with a book. Now, that's terrific. Anyway, we're looking for an illustrator. I said to the librarians at the Central in Seattle, so let's go out there and find por mi hermanito, que le lanzó su puré de chícharos a mi hermana y me hizo reír tanto que me caí de la silla. Gracias. For my little brother, who threw mashed peas at my sister and made me laugh so hard I fell off my chair. Thanks. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for all of your friendship. First for that. Thanks for all of your friendship. Thanks for all you do for Dia. We have a lot left to do. So take all of that creative commitment, collaborate with one another, collaborate with people back in your city, region, and nationally. Gracias for being my friends.
love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us, supporting libraries, and supporting librarians throughout the country. And for Dia, thank you so much. That concludes our program. And thank you all.